Well, hello and welcome to App Promotion Summit NYC, the online sessions. We had a great in-person event last Thursday. Seems like a long time ago now in New York City. It's fantastic to be back there and great to see all that energy and everything open. And yeah, it was amazing to have our first in-person event there since 2019. And I think it was 2019. We had one of our speaker today actually took part in person. Couldn't make it to the event last Thursday, but we're super happy that she was able to come and join us today for the digital sessions. So and we got really good talk today. I noticed from the people signed up, we've got a stellar cast of brands eager to hear this presentation from McKinsey and Newsweek and Nickelodeon. So I'm also really looking forward to it. So please give Chris Perroweaver from PBS a big virtual APS NYC welcome to the stage. Over to you, Chris.
Oh, good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with all of you today. My name is Chris Perroweaver, and I focus on app growth for the PBS Kids portfolio. I'm here to share my experience with in-app events in the App Store. As you probably know, in-app events have only been around since last fall. And although there's not enough data yet to draw a sound conclusion, the findings thus far are interesting and point towards leveraging in-app events to the mix for re-engaging a user. The ultimate goal for PBS Kids, and I'm sure just about any app publisher, is to reach those users that are most likely to become loyal customers or super fans. Re-engaging a user can play a huge part in that objective because they tend to be higher quality users. So what to expect from me? I'm going to talk about the mobile app landscape, then touch on App Store optimization and Apple paid search ads. Then I'll walk you through some of the experimentation that we've done with in-app events, and finally share some key learnings. And then, of course, I'll answer any questions that you may have. So a little bit about the PBS Kids portfolio. PBS is a mission-driven organization, and PBS Kids is rooted in the belief that all children should have equitable access to great resources. So about half of the portfolio is free to download. All of the PBS Kids content is designed using research-based learning goals, and we take that educational framework and wrap the entertainment value or fun around it with PBS Kids characters. The two PBS Kids flagship apps are Games and Video, and due to their breadth of content across many IPs, these apps are the gateway to the PBS Kids experience. We are on all three major platforms, and I'll be focusing on the App Store in my presentation, but Amazon and Google Play an integral part of PBS Kids' success. Our target market is children ages 2 to 8. We know that technology is integrated in our target audience and that they are learning from devices versus books. We also know that their user experience involves multi-screens and multitasking. A good example of this is you have a family sitting on a couch watching TV. They're all sharing that one screen, that one big screen, while all looking at their different mobile devices at the same time. Couple this understanding of our market with the mobile landscape, and plenty of challenges emerge. Our competitor pool is overcrowded with millions of apps in the app stores. And when you compare those millions to the average person using 9 apps per day or 30 per month, that's the latest stat that I've seen, it makes the reality vying for your spot on a mobile device even starker. We know the mobile space is challenging, but we have information and tools to help us compete. For example, we know that the majority of downloads begin with a search in the App Store, and users have gotten very savvy with navigating the store and take action very quickly. So if you've been in the app growth space for a while, you're likely utilizing one or both of these acquisition strategies. We'll start with the simple fact that users need to download your app to be successful. ASO is about leveraging the two most powerful tools you have in the App Store, the app's metadata and creative. ASO is the foundation for improving an app's visibility and conversion by targeting relevant terms and the CTA in your screenshots. Because users act so quickly, your creatives must stand out and show relevancy for a user search term. Apple Paid Search, or ASA, is the ability for any publisher to bid on keywords to win ad placement in the App Store. And when used to overlay ASO efforts, it can serve to help the app index for keywords faster. ASA is also a highly effective way to defend or protect your brand, expand reach, and can also provide you with valuable insight into user behavior. So last October, Apple launched a new feature with the rollout of iOS 15 called InApp Events. When I first heard about InApp Events, I thought this could possibly solve a pain point and be a great way to easily promote the breadth of content from PBS Kids. Since we maintain an active pipeline, I was hooked on the concept of promoting content releases that can range for us anywhere from a movie special to new episodes or seasons, and often timely is the launch of a complimentary game in the Games app that aligns with the new video app content. Events appear in organic search and will surface if there's relevancy for a user search term. This also caught my attention because we know the majority of downloads begin with a search on a mobile device. And events offer another way that you can target core keywords because the event name and short description in the event card are indexable. The featured content appear as event cards in the App Store. You can use static images or video to promote your event. So what you're looking at here at this slide is an example of the event card, which is the smaller image, and the event details page, which is the larger unit for promoting new Alma's Way episodes. You can promote a new feature in your app, content releases, challenges, competitions, basically just about anything newsy pertaining to your app. You can build anticipation for your event by publishing your event before the launch date. And when you do that, users will see a Notify Me tab, and Apple will send anyone who taps on that tab a reminder on the event start date. And when users search to find an app to address their wants or needs, and your app surfaces in the search results while promoting an event, users who have already downloaded your app will see your event card displayed alongside the app icon, title, and subtitle. And I love that because it's so hard to re-engage a user with your app. And now there's another method that helps to differentiate and increase visibility of your app. It's another opportunity to place importance on your product's existence. So with the next few slides, I'm going to share some of the in-app events that we experimented with over the past 5 months to give you a sense of the variety of themes that we tested, and then I'll hone in on some outcomes. I'll start with the seasonal updates in December. So you're looking at the event card for Alma's Way. As an aside, Alma's Way is a new series from Fred Rogers Productions and PBS Kids that launched last fall. And the focus on this event was promoting 2 new holiday stories. This was our first event, and it checked a lot of boxes. It was a perfect opportunity to promote new content from a new series that aligned with the season. I was also excited about our first event for the Games app because every winter, our team launches an adorable winter-themed takeover where the characters are dressed in winter clothes, hats, mittens, jackets. And the app features a curated collection of winter-themed games, from game titles about snowboarding to Molly's Winter Kitchen. And we know these seasonal updates do a great job of increasing engagement, but there was never an easy way to feature this prior to iOS 15. So now, I just want to show you the experience. You tap on the event card. You hit the Notify Me, it's on. And you can share it with your network. In February, it was an ongoing celebration of Arthur's 25th anniversary with a marathon of fan favorites, with a short flight window followed by the premiere of 4 new episodes, and then the movie premiere of All Grown Up. We used a video clip for Arthur instead of a static image in the event card, and as we know, the video is very engaging, and it looked great. So here, I just want to show you the experiences with the video. Okay, on March 7th, the animated Sesame Street special, The Monster at the End of the Story, premiered featuring Grover and a little help from his friends. As a quick sidebar, if you look at the paid search ad for the video app in the larger image, you'll notice that the screenshot highlights the streaming episodes and live TV as one of the features of the app at a high level. By comparison, with the in-app event, we're able to promote at a granular level with the flexibility of not having to submit a new build. We launched this in-app event ahead of the premiere to build anticipation for the 1-hour movie. And interestingly enough, this event garnered the most interactions thus far for the video app. That's a good segue into metrics. We all use KPIs to measure the success of any acquisition campaign, and Apple provides you with insightful analytics into the performance of your event. Apple tracks how users interact with your event, and I can't disclose actual numbers, but what I can share are percentages to give you a sense of what you can measure. So in App Store Connect, you'll see the total number of event impressions broken down by source type, which would be search and browse. You'll also see out of the total number of interactions, what is the number and the percentage of app opens, first-time downloads, and re-downloads. And in this example, when you add the percentage of app opens, which is 46.7, plus the percentage of re-downloads, 24%, you begin to see that this event was highly successful at re-engaging users with the app. On this next slide, you see the spring-themed curated collection of games featuring Wildcrats, Eleanor Wonders Why, and Nature Cat leaning into Earth Day. This event garnered similar results with regard to a large percentage of the interactions focused on re-engaging our users. And it was our most successful event for the Games app to date. Now, if you look at the search results, that larger screenshot to the left, if you look at the search results screenshot to the left, under the paid ad placement, you see the other in-app event that we were running for the video app at the time for the Eleanor Wonders Why movie special, A Wonderful Journey. Now I'd like to circle back to that winter-themed event for the Games app that I spoke about earlier and share one last interesting finding. After deploying an ASO round gummy cube for the Games app, we followed that up with the winter-themed in-app event. The trend with regard to re-engaging users was on par with the other events. The majority of interactions, or 72%, were about re-engaging. But what is striking was the 9.9% increase in the conversion rate for App Store search when comparing before and after the event launch. So clearly, the seasonal images resonated with our audience and told a convincing story. So key takeaways. For now, it appears these events do a great job of re-engaging a user, but also have been pretty effective at gaining a new user, having garnered about a quarter of the interactions for each event. You probably need about 12 months of data to understand the complete story and develop a successful strategy for any new channel. And we're about halfway there right now. In the meantime, there are probably more questions than there are answers surfacing. For example, do certain events do a better job of re-engagement or garnering new installs than others? Are these outcomes determined by the nature of the app? So we have video, which is passive, versus games, which is interactive. Does this channel have the potential to give us a glimpse or new insights into user pathways? So we're keeping a flexible approach by deploying a variety of newsy events and ways to promote them and test what appeals to different audiences. By conveying the value proposition in your text and visual assets, in-app events present another opportunity to speak to a potential or current user and give them a new reason to interact with your app and brand and support the ultimate goal of driving long-term engagement, retention, and monetization. So that concludes the sharing of information portion. And I'm happy to field, James, if there are any questions.
There we go. I'm unmuted.
Oh,
that was great, Chris. Thanks. Really good case studies there. Really interesting. We had a comment from Matt from Split Metrics. He said, the entire search screen is yours. Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the dream, right? Yeah, that was a good day.
Yeah, a lot of visibility. Great. And, you know, so yeah, if if anyone has any questions, please leave them in the tab. I've got a couple in the meantime. One of which is how much work is it to put this together for your team and yourself? As you know, there's a few assets. Presumably, there's some internal kind of back and forth as well. I mean, is it like a big undertaking, or did you manage to, did it become sort of quite trivial by the end once you knew what you were doing?
That's a great question. And yeah, one of the reasons, the other great thing that I loved about in-app events is the assets are minimal, right? You have your event card and your details page, and then some text assets. You need to provide the event badge, a short description and long description, but they're minimal characters. They're like, the short description is 50 characters, long is 120. And then the assets we have, and I've just, we have a pipeline, like I referenced earlier, we have a pipeline of new content that rolls out constantly. And so it's really, now I'm at the point where I'm just developing an in-app event pipeline to coincide with those launches. So the assets are there. It's a pretty light lift compared to having to update, let's say, screenshots, like when we do an ASO deployment.
Right. So sort of fairly lightweight.
We're very agile.
Right. And in terms of going forward, what sort of frequency do you think is going to be optimal? Because I guess it's a bit like sending an email blast. The data is always going to show, well, look, this is a good idea. Get one of these things out, especially if it's easy to do. How are you thinking about this? Is this something should be done very frequently, or just sort of now and again when you got something really big?
Yeah, so I guess the answer to that is it depends on the app, the content, and the objective would be my high-level answer. And for anyone who hasn't ventured yet, I would say just start and just look at those analytics and see what that data tells you, what kind of story that data is telling you. And I think that kind of feeds into being actionable with regard to making those kinds of decisions.
And do you think that you've had good results on this? Maybe because you were kind of early onto it, with it was kind of a novelty, or do you think that this data is going to sort of hold up going forward?
It's a great question. It's hard to know about the newness of it, but I do know that we're able to again get at a granular level and promote content within the app on a cadence that we have never been able to do before. And so I see that as probably the crux of the success, in that we're able to make that new content more visible than ever before. And of course, parents are always looking for new content, something fresh. And so you're able to just show that, on a consistent basis. So I think maybe that we were early in the game might have, play into it, but I think it's also more about just being able to get that visibility for just the incredible content that's within the video and games app.
Yeah. And have you seen anyone else you think doing this well in your sort of journeys around the App Store, or looking at other media companies, or maybe games companies? Is there anyone else you think's doing a good job of this at the moment that we could learn from?
As far as in-app events specifically, complete candor, I haven't paid a lot of attention. I see everyone in our space as a competitor, and I feel everyone's doing a good job. So I don't have any insight with regard to how other competitors are leveraging in-app events.
Yeah, I guess you're sort of fairly early to this. We've not seen a huge amount, so yeah, it's interesting. Okay, well we'll keep an eye out for other examples. If anyone's got any, then yeah, let us know. And well, in terms of you've given some great examples of this working well in media and games. a couple of ideas, seasonality, new content. Is there any other sort of areas you think would work well in, like shopping or e-commerce or something like that, or educational apps more broadly?
I think the possibilities are endless with regard to how you can leverage an in-app event. And if you think about if someone has a fitness app and they want to really engage users, they can put together a fitness challenge, and then they can promote a challenge. So, the sky's the limit. So I would say everyone, if you, well, just about any app, I would think is getting some type of regular updates, right? Just to keep that content fresh and keep users engaged. And so even if it's a new feature in the app, I think it's worth promoting. Again, it's that you have the it's agile tool to promote something very newsy about your app. So I think it could apply to just about any genre.
Great. Well, this is a really interesting topic, and it's great when we go down into something new and drill down. And yeah, really appreciate putting this together today, Chris. It's really interesting, and yeah, really looking forward to seeing other people now running with this idea and seeing what other presentations and ideas we're going to get in the next 6 months, building on this one. So thanks so much for putting a stake in the ground today and covering this topic. It's really interesting.
Thanks so much for the opportunity to contribute. It's a lot of fun. It's a great space, and yeah, I'd say just jump in and try, give it a try.
Great, and hopefully we'll see you next year in NYC, if not in Berlin in December, or maybe London next March. Yeah.
Nice. I hope so.
Yeah. Great. All right. Thanks so
Great.
much, Chris. Have
Thank
a good
you.
day.
Thank you.